being trapped together in the survival elements. And I just thought that was what pulled them together, because they became a sense of family even when Roger got killed. Because you know where they buried Roger in the thing, it was just the three of them. And at the end of the film, they had such a sense of family, because when Flyboy went down at the end of the film, you saw where Ken Forey said, I really don't want to go. I don't want to leave. I felt like a sense of attachment, and I'm watching people drop around me like flies. I can't bear to watch you drop like a fly, so you need to take the helicopter and get out of here. But you did not see that, but I felt like there was a sense of family between the four survivors of the film. And I wanted to know if that was what you thought about the film, or the aim of the film that George was going for at the end. Even though there were bad guys, because he even said, hey, we're thieves and we're bad guys, that's exactly what we are. But there were more than that. There were a sense of family, because they were all surviving under the elements, and they learned to get along with each other, and they learned a sense of accomplishment and family, even though they took them all. I didn't know if that was what you thought the film was about. That's certainly what I thought the film was about, especially throughout the film.
That's a good observation, man.
What do I think? Well, it's not an uncommon theme. Wes Craven's films all circle around families. Savage families, Last House on the Left, and sophisticated families. Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes.
Savage families, and you know. So George and Wes, both of whom I knew very well, did use those as elements in their films. You're right. But you know, a 2.5-hour film can afford more than one storyline. You know, and that isn't one of the ones that people normally think of when they think of George and Wes, but it's there.
Great. Does anyone have any specific questions about the making of Documented Dead, or? Sure.
I wanted to ask about you becoming a zombie, sort of how that process came about, if it was just sort of an organic thing that happened while you're on set.
So, did you hear that? I'm glad you asked the question, because it really gives an instant awareness of what George was like, what a nice guy he was. We didn't have a lot of money when we shot Documented the Dead, and it was like 2 days worth. Then we came down and slowly edited stuff together, and George was actually editing Dawn. And I called him and I said, look, we can't afford another car ride up to Pittsburgh. Can you just shoot us some footage, or have Michael shoot some footage of you editing Dawn, so that I can put it in, because this is the main film about this whole series that I was trying to do. And he says, sure. You know, a couple of weeks later, I get some film in the mail, and I put it on, and it's the pie. It's the zombie throwing the pie in my face. And that was very sweet of George. He could have done anything, but he had me hit by a pie, so let's see the evolution, you know? I mean, that's a really nice guy, right?
Can we talk about how you ended up playing that role? Like, did that just come spur of the moment? Was that George thanking you for doing behind the scenes? And
I think so. I mean, as I said, no one had been showing up on movies. A German TV station had done a little squib, but nothing substantial. And so I was there shooting when the pie scene was there, when Savini dove off the second floor into the fountain, and when it was, when they decided I should play a part, it was nice of them. I don't think I asked for it. George offered me the pie in the face. Now then, Tom sit down for 45 minutes with me applying that stuff and talking about it at the same time. So that's a nice element in Document. But the idea that George had kept it in his mind, amongst 1,000 other things he had to do, to complete the arc of me getting it, that's wonderful.
And isn't it true, I think the international cut has a quicker take of that turn?
Yeah, who asked that question?
No, no one asked it. I was inquiring about it.
Did you get the answer you wanted? And so, in the ether, someone asked about my beautiful cameo. Dario Argento put up, or thought he put up, 50% of the budget. And he had the foreign rights in exchange. He wasn't interested in families and, any warmth and all. He just wanted it moving fast and full of action and blood, etc. Well, when he cut the pie face scene, it is so interesting because what am I, on the screen for 3 seconds? He cut it down to 2 seconds. He didn't want any human stuff at all, because when I got hit with the pie, I turned, and believe me, I didn't mean to be acting, but I was a very sympathetic pie zombie. But in Dario's thing, it's just like, it's like, that's it.
It's so funny. I think if the U.S. original cut, it's got to be by the time you see your back to the time you turn and get the pie, it's literally like 5 or 6 seconds, probably a good 5 or 6 seconds. So that's interesting, though. You wouldn't have been as famous as the Pie in the Face Zombie if I think the international cut was the cut, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like people, friends of mine saw it when it was finished and said, "That's not your best work." But they were seeing Argento's first. I love it.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got it.
Step, sir.
Sir, are you going to finish? Huh? Yeah. He was the narrator on Dr. Dead. Her voice is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good question.
Yeah, she was amazing.
So when we were editing Documenting the Dead, thank you. So we got very extensive interviews with Ken, with Scott, with David, but at that time, for whatever reason, Galen wouldn't do an interview with me when I was up there for those 2 days. So when we're editing, I'm saying this thing is too male-oriented. There's something wrong about it. At least let's see if we can get an actress to do the narration. And the first person we approached was Angela Lansbury. She was on.
That would have been so funny.
She was on Broadway, but she had done Picture of Dorian Gray, which was a sophisticated horror film in the 1940s. So we sent a lovely letter to her, which she immediately rejected. And then somewhere down the line, we approached Susan Tyrrell. She was off Broadway doing something, and we loved her stuff. So my producer, Suki Raphael, she approached Susan after a show. She walked in the door, and Susan Tyrrell was one hell of a unique person. Suki opens the door to the dressing room and says, "Hello." Susan Tyrrell turns and sees her, sees that she's holding a letter in her hand and says, "I'll do it."
Awesome.
There is more to that, but it'll be in my memoirs. More, that's some good questions. Got a few others?
Didn't you also approach Glenda Jackson?
What?
Did you approach Glenda Jackson at some point?
No, Glenda Jackson I approached for another film I did called Bert's Bikers.
Okay.
And she accepted.
Accepted.
The World 2 Academy Award actress. That was really something.
Thank you for coming. I wanted to ask, you mentioned that what you pitched to the school was like several shorter films as well.
Yeah.
Did you end up making any of those other ones, or did they all just come together as Documenting the Dead?
Yeah. Good question. It went in another direction. The film wasn't released for 2.5 years. We kept editing and touching it up. The school itself lost interest, and they felt they'd never see any profit, which we haven't. It's been useful, for everyone involved, but it's not a blockbuster, So we never got to all the other smaller ones, and this one was feature length, which I really hadn't meant for it to be. But it was such a good film, The editor, Dennis Werner, great editor. He edited Documenting the Dead. He edited Street Trash. He edited First Bikers. It was like my partner in that, and he was a great editor. He's gone now, and I'm trying to get a little film going in honor of him. Does that answer the question? Okay. Hopefully, this is new stuff to a lot of you, right?
Yes.
So when you started this, what was your expectation about where it would go, where it would end up? I mean, I've got my European 4K release, and there it is, right there on it. It almost